Hello, my name is Dr. Justin Blumensteel, and I am going to be your professor for Honors Genetics this semester. This is a picture of me on the left, although I'll admit this picture was taken about 10 years ago, so when you see me in person, which will be hopefully soon, I might look a little different, or maybe perhaps have a little less hair. And on your right is the TA, Kevin Chovnik, and he is an expert in anolis lizards and fossils, and this is him standing next to a poster, some work that he had done on that. And I'm really excited this semester to teach honors genetics. Genetics is actually one of my favorite things in the whole world. So it's really exciting to teach this, and I think in this format, I think it's going to go pretty darn good. So I'm going to start with the course outline, and this will be the first video that you watch, and then we'll actually break down into a little bit of genetics for a second intro video as well. This is the textbook that we'll be using. It's an introduction to genetic analysis. It's actually the same textbook that the Bio 350 students use, and it's a fantastic one. And as you all know right now, you will be using the electronic version, although if you wanted to buy a hard copy of it, that would be fine as well. I just thought that the electronic version was cheaper, and therefore probably that's what most people would do. As you probably know right now, honors genetics will primarily be online this semester. As a matter of fact, I think at the very beginning of the semester we're going to start out strictly online, even though I had mentioned the possibility of being outside. There's been a couple students in some other classes that have actually gotten COVID or have roommates that have gotten COVID. So for now, we're going to stick with online, but we may switch to that outside stuff as the weather gets a little nicer. So all lectures like this one will be posted on YouTube, and the links will be on Blackboard. And what I want you to do is watch these online videos. And then when you do, I want you to complete a small reading and lecture quiz before each of the Tuesday and Thursday, what I would call interactive sessions. So on 1 o'clock on Tuesdays and 1 o'clock on Thursdays, we'll be actually Zooming as a group and maybe be outside a little bit, but right now probably not for now. And we will actually use that time to work together as a class to review concepts and projects. Before Wednesday exams, we have online exams on Wednesdays. These Tuesday interactive sessions will be review sessions, and we'll be using these times to actually work through previous exams from previous years. And there's going to possibly be some brief polling here and there during those interactive sessions. And on Thursdays, what we'll be doing is we'll continue working on concepts, but mostly we're going to use those as problem-solving sessions. And at the end of each one of those sessions, you'll actually hand in an assigned completed problem that will work together all as a group. And you'll hand it in on through a web portal called Gradescope. And again, these will be on Zoom as well. Finally, 4 o'clock Wednesdays will also be through Zoom, and these will be led by the TA Kevin, and these will be focused on homework that will be not as difficult as what we do together on Thursdays, but will be stuff that is sort of more broad that will allow you to focus on the general themes, and that will be homeworks that will be due on Sundays. So just to give you an idea of how the course outline works, there'll be exams, they'll be online, they'll be held on Wednesdays. You'll actually have a large 24-hour window to complete the exam, and probably 2 or 3 hours actually of an entire period of time to actually start and finish it in that period within that 24-hour window. The final will be partially cumulative, and all 4 exams will be worth the same amount. There are going to be little, what I call YouTube /reading quizzes. So for each Tuesday and Thursday 1 o'clock Zoom session, I'd like you to watch one of these videos, and I'll have those all uploaded on YouTube, and do the reading as well. And so there'll be some little quizzes to make sure that you did that. There will be homeworks that will also be submitted through Sapling. There will be 13 homework assignments, and those will be due on Sundays from previous material from the previous week. And we'll do the 10 best will count for your grade. I just want to mention that the homeworks and the reading quizzes are what we call low stakes. All right, basically they're there to just make sure you understand the material. They're not really going to be hard. Then I mentioned that there were those Thursday interactive problem sessions. In those Thursday Zoom sessions, 1 o'clock on Thursdays, we're going to work on an assignment as a group, as together. All right, and there will be 14 of those, and the best 10 will count for your grade. And those will be sort of done as a group, and I'll basically guide you through how to solve these problems. In addition to that, we're going to actually do a little bit of work in a programming language called R. R is a statistical programming language that is probably one of the most commonly used statistical programming languages used. And something that everybody should know is that the field of biology and the field of genetics is becoming more and more computationally based. And so these little projects, again, we'll sort of work on them side by side, are basically introductions to how one can use programming to simulate genetic processes. And towards the end of the semester, there's going to be a little project that will basically be a human genetics project, and that will be something that you will basically use the internet to go through and find some information about some variations in the human genome that are associated with disease. And then, in addition, there's going to be during Tuesdays and some Thursdays, I may be asking some clicker questions. Those will basically be bonus points, so you want to be sure that you're there for those, but those aren't actually counting as a fraction of the class, and so sometimes they'll be there and sometimes they won't. But make sure you show up so that you can get those clicker points. So this is actually a summary of the dates. It's sort of the things that you should keep in mind for dates. So those little YouTube reading quizzes I want you to complete online, I want you to complete those before class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so at noon. And then those sapling homeworks, which are due on Sunday. So those are the dates there for those homeworks. And then the Thursday in-class problems, obviously those are going to be every Thursday over Zoom. You don't need to necessarily keep track of that, just make sure you come. And then those are the dates of our projects, the little computer projects that we'll be doing. September 3rd is the first one, then October 1st, November 3rd, and then November 24th. Those will all be submitted through Gradescope. Okay, so this is the breakdown for how points are allocated. This is all in the syllabus, so I won't march through this one by one. The class is graded on a plus-minus scale, but I will tell you that I use that mostly to ensure that people who are on the edge of, say, for example, a B, A kind of edge, you can oftentimes get an A minus. So sometimes people don't like the plus-minus scale, but I find it actually works for the best. And then just to sort of quickly summarize, we're going to walk through this in session on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, the class that is first in the semester. Blackboard is basically what you should consider a hub. It's a hub for the syllabus, the YouTube links I'm going to have you watch, project assignments, and then links to the sapling for the little mini quizzes for reading and the homeworks, and Gradescope, which is stuff that you'll be submitting through. Sapling, so also has the ebook as well. And in addition, the Gradescope, I think probably will be the place where we submit online exams as well as those R projects. Okay. There's one thing I want to mention, and we'll go through more of this in detail on Tuesday Zoom. One thing I really want to mention, especially this semester, is that it's going to be very important that people adhere to academic integrity. So let me be clear about this. What I mean is basically not cheat. All right. I bring this up as strong as I can these days because I would like to say that over the past, 5 or 6 years of teaching, every year or every other year, I have actually had a bad situation with a student or more than one student who cheated. And let me just assure you, when a student gets caught cheating, it doesn't go well. All right, this actually has potentially serious consequences, and actually at least more than one student, probably damaged their ability to ever go to med school or anything like that. So I just want to warn you, please be vigilant, no cheating, and be as honest as you possibly can. Okay, so that is the first little part, and I'm going to start the second part separately.